How's it going, you guys? Welcome to another video. For today, I actually have 10 questions since we are close to Christmas Day. I do have 10 questions, relating to like Christmas. It's more like I did ask AI to make me these questions, so I don't know what they're about exactly. Um, like what kind of questions are going to be. Um, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pick out some questions and then answer them to you guys. And then I also do have some food, so I'm gonna be eating. I'm gonna be eating some wings. Uh, I actually ordered some wings, and then I also got this drink. It's a creamy cola. I tried it once. It's actually spilling over here. I tried it once before, and it kind of reminded me of like a root beer float. I don't know if you've ever had a like a cola float, but that's pretty much what it tastes like, which is really good. I like it. So I just went ahead and got another one today. I mean, we do have a lot of traditions. We have um, instead of like opening our presents, I know a lot of people open them the next morning, the day of the 25th. We actually open ours on midnight, Christmas Eve, you know, midnight the 25th, but it'll be like we pretty much celebrate on Christmas Eve. Um, we have different traditions as far as like as soon as like it's kind of like New Year's, as soon as like 12 hits, you know, we give each other a hug, a kiss on the cheek, and then say Merry Christmas. Um, I know my mother when we're at my mother's house, she actually has like a small Jesus and that she passes around, and we each give the baby Jesus a kiss, and then we place it back under the tree, before we start opening presents. But as far as a quirky like tradition, I can't really think of any. Uh, but yeah, all right. For the second question, it says, "What is the most or best memorable Christmas gift you have ever received, and why was it so special?" Mm. So, um, I would say the best Christmas present I've received was when I was younger. I want to say I was like 9 years old, 8 years old, somewhere around there, and it was more for like me and my brother to share because we got a Xbox system, a console, and you know my parents weren't able to like they wouldn't buy us a lot of like things throughout the year, like gifts or like things that we wanted like throughout the year. They'll just say like, oh, we'll come back for it, or just they just wouldn't tell us no. They just say like, oh, okay, like later on, um, or next time, which we already knew that we weren't gonna get it. Um, but one Christmas, one Christmas, we actually got an Xbox console. My brother and I, we were really excited. We didn't even expect it, to be honest. We didn't expect it, but it was like one of the best Christmas that we've had just because we got that gift. It was like the biggest gift we've ever received. There was also other Christmases that we got good gifts like bicycle. Remember when the Nintendo 64 or the Game Boy Color came out? We also got that as a gift. But you know, I want to say the best Christmas was that one. Now, as far as like like a meaningful Christmas, um, a lot of my Christmases are pretty, I feel like they're special, just because honestly, I do enjoy them more now that I'm grown, or like older. Um, I do enjoy them more. I know it's more for like as an adult, you also get gifts, but it's also nice to give gifts away to like other people, especially kids, like nieces, nephews, stuff like that. Things that you're actually gonna find that they're gonna like. Um, I think that's kind of why I kind of like, you know, enjoy Christmas more now than before. But as far as like presents, oh yeah, when I was a kid, definitely. All right. So for question number 3, I actually got like 20 questions, so I kind of wanted to pick and choose which ones I wanted to do. But you know what? I'm just going for it, and just gonna go and just pick questions out, and then without even reading them before, just read them out. So it says, oh, pretty much. Look, how was your approach to the holidays changed as you've gotten older compared to when you were a child? So yeah, I mean, I pretty much answered that one already. But growing up, it was more like about getting gifts more than like for yourself. Um, that's kind of where you knew if you had a good Christmas or not, depending on like the gifts that you would get. But now it's more about like getting other people gifts, and I mean, just something small that or you know, personally like that I receive, I think it's good. Um, like it doesn't have to be anything big. Like I think I enjoy more like being able to give gifts. I think I enjoy that more. Which I'm not good at it. I'm not good at picking presents. Chris has to help me a lot of the time to pick out presents. But I enjoy seeing people open the presents. Like if they enjoy, whatever it is that we got for them. I think that's kind of more enjoyable. Just being able to see them. Um, just being able to see them like open a gift. Uh, you know, and you kind of see if they do like the gift or they don't. Most of the time, I mean, I hope they like, people that we got them gift that, that they like it or they like the gifts that we got them. Um, but yeah, I think that's how it has changed from me being a child to now. I mean, which I can say it's more enjoyable now, definitely. All right. Says if you could only listen to one specific Christmas song or album for the entire month of December, what would it be and why? So I don't really listen to Christmas carols. I do enjoy them, but I don't sing along to them. Uh, you know, like honestly, I'm off the top of my head, I can't even think of like Christmas carols other than like Jingle Bells and Oh Christmas Tree or um, yeah. I mean, I do enjoy them, but it's not like during Christmas season. I don't really go like, oh yeah, let's listen to Christmas songs or carols unless we're doing like we're building our Christmas tree or like wrapping presents. For some reason, it gets us in the mood of like the holidays, like Christmas. So I guess that would be like the time that, or most of the time that I listen to like Christmas carols. I know Chris likes more the Christmas carols. Um, As a matter of fact, she doesn't even know I'm making this video, so whenever you guys see it, it's actually going to be her first time watching it too. But she's more like the sing along for the Christmas carols and stuff like that. But as far as me, I mean, if it's playing on the radio or I do enjoy them, but I just don't sing along to them. All right. So next question is that I think that's question number 5. think I might be question number 5, but I'll just keep going. What is the single most meaningful gift you've ever given to someone? Um, and what was their reaction? Mm, so actually, this was just, well, 2 years ago. Um, Chris and I were, we might have been in high school or out of high school, like, but you know, a while back, we were still boyfriend and girlfriend, and we kind of talked about like going to New York. It was just like ideas and things we wanted to do. And 2 years ago, actually, um, I just purchased I just purchased tickets to go to New York. We didn't have a date like planned for it or nothing. We just knew we were, I just knew we were gonna go. I was like, you know what, we'll just plan for the days. It's gonna be a gift, and I know that she'll love it. So I ended up getting I just ended up getting the. It wasn't the flights. It was more like a gift card kind of. It has like a voucher for like flights, and it was actually like the statue. I printed out like a paper, and it was like the Statue of Liberty like laying down, and I told her, uh, it's tired. The statue's tired of I can't remember the exact words, but it was something like she's tired of waiting. Uh, and then the next page it was like we're going to New York or something like that. Then it was the voucher. And so this year we actually ended up going to New York. It took us like 2 years just to get the date, plan the date, and then also cover for like the expenses too, for going out there and the stay and whatever food we're gonna eat. And also we also had we have Zoe or Zoe, and so we also had to like accommodate to her, like the flight, if she was gonna be comfortable during the flight, and if she was gonna enjoy the trip as well, the flight out there, enjoy like us being out there, and it was actually a good time. I know Chris, when she opened it, when she opened the gift, she wasn't expecting it, and she just started tearing up, and she was happy. It was just tears of joy. I mean, I also freaking you know I also teared up, but it was just like it was like a happy moment, just because I knew that it was something I wanted to do, but I didn't really think about it. Like as soon as I got the idea, I'm like, you know what, I'm just doing that. I'm going for it. And yeah, I mean, it turned out great. We enjoyed the time out there, and we actually have some ornaments that we haven't even put on the tree that we bought from out there. So maybe either on the next video, or maybe sometime you guys will be able to see it on the Christmas tree once we put the ornaments out there up there. But yeah. All right, we'll go on the next question. It says, do you have any traditions involving pets during the holidays? Special outfits, gifts for them, for their stocking. You know what? Uh, Growing up, and even now, like I don't have pets. I haven't had pets like growing up. Like if I did, it's like, uh, you know, I don't want to make it seem like how do I say it? Like I wasn't happy as a kid or nothing like that. But my parents weren't able to really afford like having a pet, like vet and food and all this other stuff. So we wouldn't get much of the stuff like unless we needed like shoes and stuff, unless we needed, So we wouldn't really have pets. And at the same time, it was also another thing that like having pets, we also had to have the responsibility of cleaning up after them, and I wouldn't, like we wouldn't, and so you know my parents would just be like, if you guys don't take care of the pet, or the dog at the time, like, we're just gonna give it away. And sure enough, we wouldn't take care of the dog. Like, freaking, you know, I wouldn't clean up the mess, and then they would just end up giving away the dog. It actually happened like I want to say maybe possibly like 2 times that happened. But I've had like we've had like rabbits. Uh, we had like rabbits, hamsters, like those small pets, but we didn't really like do anything for them. Like, I know I have family members that do, you know, um, like they give out like they would give out like presents for their pets and stuff like that. Which, hey, I don't judge. If you want to do that for your pet, and they're well taken care of, for like they're like a indoor pet and stuff like that, like grooming and stuff like that, then by all means go for it. But as of me, I'm not used to it, and I haven't done it. So maybe that's why, like, for me, I don't think that's something that I do. Maybe when Soe grows up, maybe she's gonna want a pet or something. I still don't know. Or I might have to please her with a pet. But yeah, she's definitely gonna have to pick up after that puppy if she wants a puppy. All right. So next question. I think that might have been 7. I'm trying to do 10 of these questions, and I'm talking so much that I'm not even eating. But I should be finishing up this food. If not now, probably later after the video. But number 8. Do you prefer a real Christmas tree or an artificial? Oh, that's a good one. And what's the story behind that choice in your home? Yeah, that drink is really good. That drink is real good. It's like having like a Coke float, pretty much. It tastes like ice cream. I don't know if there's ice cream in there, but it kind of tastes like vanilla and Coke, and like vanilla ice cream and Coke. I want to say something like that, but it's really good. So artificial tree or a real tree? Um, Personally, I prefer an artificial tree, just because it's easier to like an artificial tree, just because it's easier to pick up. Putting the lights on. Uh, it doesn't drop any like I don't know what they're called, but those spike things that the pines drop. You don't have to worry about getting rid of the tree after like once it dries out, and like chopping it up for wood or something, or like it's just less messy. I do like real trees because uh, I used to live in Oregon for some time, and it's, at least for us, it was more common to use like a real tree. Um, you will go pick out a tree, like you will go out and pick out your own tree, and then they'll cut it down for you, and you just bring it home. Which the process of that was really, it was nice, it was cool. Um, like picking out, or you could just go to a stand and just pick out a tree, and then you just bring it home and set it up. But after Christmas is over, or New Year's, whenever you pick up your Christmas tree, then you're left with the mess of like having to put it outside, or cut it up just so you can use it as firewood. But then it leaves like all this leftover stuff, like in your living room, which you have to mop, or not mop, sweep. I mean, if it's floor, maybe uh, you know vacuum and all this other stuff. So personally, I prefer an artificial tree, just because of that, and then you could keep on using it for years. Um, I mean, as far as like environmental stuff, I'm not sure about that. How which one is better, to be honest. I haven't really looked into that. But just as far as like setting it up and then decorating it, because you guys have seen on the other video, Chris and I decorated our Christmas tree. That one's an artificial tree, and that one came with the lights. But the one before that we had was a white tree and also artificial. And we still have it, so we might bring it out, some other year, if if we decide to. I mean, I'm really not sure. Can't think that far ahead, um, but yeah, as far as Christmas tree, definitely for me an artificial tree. All right, all right. Question number 9. What's one thing about the modern holiday season that most people enjoy, but you personally dislike or would change? Um, so there's a few there's a couple of things, but it comes to like food. Uh, I like turkey, but not when it's dry. Like I like a good juicy turkey. But I don't like the stuffing. Uh, I've tried it a couple times. I really tried it, and I don't like stuffing. And then like there's a other like I'm not familiar with like the other types of like sides when it comes to like like dinners like that for like the holidays. Um, I kind of just like more like for Thanksgiving we do eat like turkey, ham, certain salads. But like but for Christmas it would be more like a traditional tamales, possibly like a pozole. Um, you have different options of food. That's something that I like more. I'm not sure if it's more work because I don't cook. I don't cook it, but I do enjoy eating it. I do enjoy eating it more. Um, but I, I would as far as like implementing it to my house, like whenever we decide to someday, bake or whatever, bake a turkey. Yeah, definitely no stuffing unless it gives it flavor. For some reason, like I said, I don't cook myself like that. Possibly later on in the future, I'll learn how to cook more. But yeah, definitely stuffing. For some reason, um, I can see why people like it though, but it's just not something that I like as far as like flavors and foods go. All right, I think this is number 10. Let me see. What is your favorite Christmas movie of all time, and how many times do you watch it during the holiday season? Christmas movie. I know I like. There's actually a few movies that I do like. Um, there's a few movies that I do like. Um, but as far as like that I watch or that I see many times throughout the year, I don't unless it's like Christmas season. Like I said, it's kind of like the same thing as Christmas carols. I don't really watch like Christmas movies during Christmas unless it's like The Grinch. Now that um, I do like that movie. Actually, the other day I was playing that movie for Soed, and it's still a good movie. Like either the cartoon version, or the the newer, the newer uh, the newer version of it, or like even the older version of it, like the real life one. Uh, they're all good, but as a kid, I remember liking Home Alone, and specifically Home Alone 3, the one with because that's the movie that we had on VHS, and so I like the other Home Alones too. As a matter of fact, the first Home Alone that I watched was Home Alone 3, and I know there's I don't know the characters, the actor's name. I know he does all the other Home Alones, But the Home Alone that I was used to was Home Alone 3, and it was a good movie. It was a good movie, and I've actually watched that movie many times. Um, yeah, that movie just brings back like memories, just memories of like you know that's when I was a child. I mean, hopefully you guys also, you guys watching also like maybe some of these questions have also brought you guys like some of your guys' childhood memories. Um, but I'll add something extra to this. Just because it crossed my mind right at this moment. When we were younger, when I was younger, um, my parents used to. Oh, that's actually a good question, but I didn't ask you because, anyways, um, you know, you have the belief of like Santa Claus and stuff like that, like Santa Claus bringing the presents, and for some reason I don't remember our parents telling us that Santa Claus brought the presents. They used to tell us it was like they used to tell us it was El Niño Dios, which was like baby Jesus. And for some reason, we were kids, so we would just believe that. And there was part of us that also knew just because maybe probably school. I mean, just what I remember. Um, but they would tell us, about Santa Claus. Uh, but they would tell us, we will go to sleep at night, and then they'll put our presents in our room. Uh, they'll put our presents in our room, and like it was a couple presents, 3 presents or however many they would get us, and then while we were asleep, they'll put them in. We used to share one bedroom, stack them up, and then they'll put our shoe on top of the presents. And so they'll wake us up. They'll wake us up, and then we already knew which ones our presents were because our shoe was on top of the presents. And that was one of like the you know I want to say one of the most meaningful memories that I do have of Christmas, like growing up. As a kid, I'm not so sure about Santa Claus. I just remember more like it might have been later on. I can't really remember about like much about like like much about Santa Claus like that. It was more like Niño Dios, but when they used to, they used to put our presents there, and then we used to open the presents, take off our shoe, because our shoe was on top, and then start opening the presents. And then for one of those Christmases, I got like a lot of like Toy Story characters, and oh man, like it was a really good gift. It was also a really good gift. It'll pretty much be like that other question, which one was a more memorable Christmas? But yeah, now that I think about it, as a child, that was I think that was one of the best ones, also, and a memory that I really do remember, like from being a kid. Um, but yeah, um, I actually have to finish this food, but I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and you guys also, you know, hopefully it brought up some memories for you guys as well. Um, your guys' childhood, and how you guys also, traditions that you guys also might have similar to mine or to my family's. Um, but yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Um, you know, go ahead and like and subscribe, and then maybe Chris and I could make another video together for the next video. She doesn't know that I am making this video, so she's gonna go ahead and watch it, and then yeah, we'll go ahead and see you guys for the next video.